Alrighty, welcome back to Wrestling Rants and Reviews. I'm Big Mike, and this is This Day in Wrestling History for June the 2nd. That's right, moving along here in June, we're on day 2. That's right, and, well, let's jump right into it this morning, shall we? Got a bit of news going on. So, again, in a little bit of a trivial note, or useless knowledge as I like to call it, in 1983, Hulk Hogan wins the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP League, defeating Antonio Inoki in the final. And also, in the 80s, 1989, the WWF produced film No Holds Barred, starring Hulk Hogan, is released, and the movie was a critical and commercial flop, only just breaking even when distribution fees are factored in. However, I really liked No Holds Barred. I still think it's one of Hulk Hogan's best movies, and maybe even a WWE film. Great movie. But then again, I haven't seen it since probably 1989, and I was 11, so, you know, maybe it wasn't that great, but when you're a kid, fuck, it was a great movie. Moving on, title changes for this day in wrestling history. 1960, Dan Miller and Frank Valois defeat Rikidozan and Michiaki Yoshimura to win the vacant JWA All-Asian Tag Team titles. 1979, the WCCW American Heavyweight title was awarded to the Spoiler after Wahoo McDaniel was forced to vacate it through injury. Again, what a name, Spoiler. Well, anyways, moving on. 1987, the Honky Tonk Man defeats Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That's right, 1987. Honky Tonk Man begins his reign as the world's best Intercontinental Champion, defeating Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. 1993, the Eagle and the Patriot defeat Tsuyoshi Kikuchi and Kenta Kobashi to win the All Japan Pro Wrestling All Asia Tag Team titles. Moving on to 2002, the WWF Hardcore title 24/7 rule sees the belt pass from Steven Richards to Tommy Dreamer to Raven back to Richards. And in 2004, we see Jeff Jarrett defeat AJ Styles, Raven, and Chris Harris in a King of the Mountain match to win the NWA World title. This here was another great match, innovative match, also by TNA. However, I think 2005 is looking to be the best one that I've ever saw. It has got Joe added to the mix and Ron Killings. And I think maybe even Christian. Maybe I'm wrong. But, you know, it was a great match. Definitely recommend watch. Moving on beyond the title changes today. One thing that I did notice, there was no events. So, you know, we're moving on quite quickly here for this day in wrestling history. Birthdays for today in wrestling history. Happy birthday to two-time WCW World Champion. Lex Luger turns 53. Hopefully this year's a better year for you there, Lex, in your health. Keep on trucking along there, buddy. The first TNA Grand Slam champion, AJ Styles, turns 34 years young today. Former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion Velvet Sky is also 30 on this day. And former TNA wrestler, wow, a lot of TNA stars in there today. Kim Desire Nielsen, that's going back to probably like the pay-per-view days when Desire was in there. And then moving on, a little bit of a sad note for today in this day in wrestling history. In memoriam, the wrestling world lost 3 personalities on this date. We got the WWE in 1998. WWE Hall of Famer Junkyard Dog died at age 45 in a single car accident after apparently falling asleep at the wheel. 2003, fellow WWE Hall of Famer Classy Freddie Blassie died of kidney and heart failure at the ripe old age of 85. And finally, in 2007, Pacific Northwest mainstay Sandy Barr suffered a heart attack and died at the age of 69. So a sad day today, really. You know, the wrestling world on this date lost three wrestling legends. You know, being the Junkyard Dog, Classic Freddie Blassie, and Sandy Barr. Condolences out to the family on this day. We're sorry to hear about the news once again, this many years later. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's me. That's Big Mike. That's this day in wrestling history. I did have an inaugural show yesterday on the IWWS channel. Don't know if you got a chance to see it, but I'll put a link up there. Boom, right there. Go check it out. Pretty decent, and we'll see you tomorrow. Catch you on the flip side.